because there was too much savagery going on. Y'all heard about all the savagery that this fucking so-called native Indians was over here living in? Y'all heard about it?
Yep, for sure. It was wild.
Then you got all these fucking invaders and foreigners and all type of shit passing through. So it was need to set this shit up like this. I'm glad we having this conversation this morning because
your parents, you know, we get mad at us because ours did.
All right,
so all of this daggone anti-God talk.
The church supposed to gave it to you though, but they separated.
All this anti-God talk. These grown men and women are talking about on Bigo 8. No more should be talking like that.
No, for sure.
Not like that.
We're not against God. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs.
I'm going to fall back. Hold up, bro. Still scrolling, so I'm going to save my voice for when it's time to read. Personal use of marijuana. Sounds good. Should we start there? Hold on. Let me light my blunt up. Fire drill.
That's what I'm so happy my people are starting to get in, come back home.
Oh yeah, let me tell y'all let me drop another jewel real quick before I go into it. I just told my nephew this yesterday, so I'm gonna keep y'all up to date too. The word marijuana is called ganja for a reason. The word ganja implies that it is God. Okay? Yeah. As in gong, as in the word gong. Gang, gong, ganja, same word. It means God.
Gang of Jah, gang of God. And the marijuana plant got 7 leaves on it. That 7 is God. And you know the Rastafarians say when you smoke weed, you become the most high. You get closer to God. You know what I'm saying? I stay the most high.
And the leaf can also, the plant can also go up to 13 leaves.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Right. So you have a 13. You got a fourth strain. You got a fourth strain of the weed called ruderalis, and it can grow up to 13 leaves. No, it's just a rough strain. They grow in rough areas that's not too conducive to the growth, but it make it anyway. A lot of them grow up with 13 points or leaves. See Mexican down there saying it's growing the cold climate. Okay, they call it ruderalis, the rough one. Okay, they got 4 strains: sativa, indica, hybrid, and ruderalis. Let's go. Let's get that reading though, Lord Messiah. Baal Masu. I hate to say Lord Messiah. Baal Masu. Let's go.
Look at Lord Messiah. Oh, Baal Masu. I'm fucking that shit.
Say Lord Messiah.
Messiah is good. You got to understand what the word Messiah is saying. Messiah derived from the word messe, which means middle. Okay, so he's the middleman. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Messiah came as, the middleman to the Father. No man go to the Father except me. You see that? That's why it's called Messiah. Hey, come on back with it, Masu. Baal Masu.
What is going on?
Baal Masu, man. Hey, Masu, you hear what they call? You know what they call it when they store that ganja up in what? Call it bales, right? They store it up in bales, man. But anyway, let's go, man. And a bale also means beauty.
He goes hating on a nigga.
Belle, like a southern belle. So what the hell going on with your phone, bro?
Yeah, my shit acting up. Bigo hating on me.
Popping everywhere.
Yeah, they probably hating that you showing that type of information like that.
You waking them up? Hold on.
Yeah, bro. You showing that shit, then you got me over here, or I'm over here orating and shit. Like, yeah, I done seen. I wouldn't be showing that shit like that. Like, I wouldn't do it. But hey,
you gonna do it?
I'll talk, but I ain't really just pulling out certain shit like that.
It's an act of war, man. You're doing an act of war.
Yeah.
You're freeing slaves.
But that's good. Hold on, let me get to reading. Okay, so then I say, notwithstanding any provision of law, following acts are not unlawful and shall not be an offense under the United States of America Republic or the law of any locality within the provinces of the United States of America Republic, or be a basis for seizure or forfeiture of assets under the United States of America Republic laws for persons 21 years of age or older. A. Possessing, using, displaying, purchasing, or transporting marijuana accessories or 1 ounce or less marijuana. B. Possessing, growing, processing, or transporting no more than 6 marijuana plants with three or fewer. Being what? Mixture. Mixture flower. Mating flowering plants and possession of the marijuana produced by the plants on the premises where the plants were grown, provided that the growing takes place in an enclosed, locked space, is not conducted openly or publicly, and is not made available what?
Made available sale. So in other words, like if you're not like selling out of your house, I guess, or something like that, So I'm gonna just try to skip through a little bit of this. It says lawful operation of marijuana related facilities, which is basically dispensaries. You know what I'm saying? We could get licensed for dispensaries and whatnot under the Constitution. Cultivating, harvesting, processing, packaging, transporting, displaying, or possessing marijuana, delivery or transfer of marijuana, or selling, all that good stuff. It says if a person conducting the activities described in the paragraph has obtained a current valid license to operate a marijuana cultivation facility. So you could get a license through USAR to run a facility, and I think it's only $5,000 through USAR. They want like damn near $1 million for you to get a license through the U.S. Like, are you serious?
Regulation.
So no later than January 1st, 2016, the department shall adopt regulations necessary for implementation of this section. Such regulations shall not prohibit the operation of marijuana establishments, either expressly or through regulations that may make their operation unreasonably impracticable. Such regulations shall include procedure for insurance, renewal, suspension, or revocation of a license to operate a marijuana establishment, a schedule of application, license, and renewal of fees, providing application fees shall not exceed $5,000. See, application fees shall not exceed $5,000. With this upper limit adjusted annually for inflation. unless the department determines a greater fee is necessary to carry out the responsibility under this section. So I guess based upon how big the dispensary is, or if you're doing more than one, you know what I mean? But yeah, $5,000, man. Like, what? What's up? So qualifications for the licenses are directly and demonstrably related to the operation of marijuana establishment, security requirements for marijuana establishment, licensing requirement for marijuana products sold, distributed by marijuana establishment.
Labeling requirement.
Right.
Labeling requirement.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Health and safety regulations and standards for manufacture of marijuana products and cultivation of marijuana, restrictions, so forth, right? So, all right. And also, too,
let's go down in.
Other things are legal, too. Ayahuasca, DMT. There's a few things that are legal. I was like, wow, DMT, for real? But, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why not? It's our, it's our journey. Shit. Why the fuck not?
So we got the amendment, Bill of Rights in here. You know what I'm saying? Then we go into the amendments. All right, if y'all want to start reading on this, we can start reading on these here, the amendments. And this is very synonymous with the United States Constitution. This is why they can't tell us that, oh, this is gonna go to that. Nigga, this is the same shit y'all saying. So what you talking about? We just got some other extra shit in our shit too. You know what I'm saying?
But also what differentiate, is like the way you move.
Right.
You gotta be moving different, man.
According to love, peace, freedom, justice, love, peace, freedom, pass off. Love, peace, freedom, justice, and equality. Truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what we focusing on or conducting ourselves off of. All you sticking to them principles, saying should be good, you know what I'm saying? For the most part.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Love, peace, truth,
that's the stanza.
Freedom and justice. Right.
That's the stanza right there. Let's go, man.
So
take order to make a stand.
Amendment 1, it says freedom of religion, of speech, and of the press. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievance. Amendment 2, right to keep and bear arms, as well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, not to be construed with granting the individual nationals or citizens the right to bear arms. Section 1, the United States of America Republic, militia being the law enforcement of this sovereign nation, state, shall whose sworn duty is the protection of the United States of America Republic, the USAR, and the people of the USAR are one and the same. So, yeah. So quarterings of soldiers, you got security of unwarranted search and seizure, rights of the accused criminal proceedings, rights to a speedy trial and witness, trial by jury in civil cases, bail, fines, punishments, reservation of rights, powers of reserve, states of people, restriction of judicial powers, election of president and vice president. What I really want to get to is, abolishment of slavery, abolition of slavery. This is the one I wanted to get to, was repatriation. So if somebody want to take that from there.
14. Repatriation. Repatriation. Section 1. This state shall have the power of repatriation, the repatriation of coloreds, Negroes, Black, Afro-Americans, and African-American Black to the divine creed of their forefathers. You hear that? Y'all got to repatriate back to the divine creed of your forefather. Okay? But back to statehood, back to the constitutional fold of this free national government, back to being Moorish Americans, Moorish nationals, and national citizens. Section 2. All nationals and citizens of the United States of America, Republic, upon taking the oath of allegiance to the United States of American Republic, shall be pardoned of all past crimes of colorable laws. Okay, let me stop right there. What that word mean, bruh?
What colorable
all
law?
Past crime. What that mean? All past crimes. You shall be pardoned.
Right.
Of all past crimes of colorable laws. What that mean, brother?
So that means that all the records they had against you for misdemeanors and, you know, stuff they charge you with and all of that, if it wasn't a capital crime, they can never hold that against you again. They can't use any of those old records. You know how they bring you in court and the prosecutor try to pull up your old history. Well, he has a history of violence. He did this back in 2000 and da-da-da. He did this and da-da-da. And they try to pull up all your old history. They can never do that again. You know what I'm saying? So you'll basically be pardoned of all your past crimes under colorable law. And their color of law is the appearance of law, because they just been acting like they was law, but they wasn't really law. They were enforcing policies, not laws. So all of their statutes, commandments, codes, and all that they try to hold you against, they can't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
It's against the law. It's against the law for them to try to do that. So that's how we know. That's how they can't get jurisdiction. Yeah. We know you're trying to put us under the color of law, and that's against the law.
Right.
So I'm not about to sit there and put you a debate about you, because I know you're breaking the law.
Right, but
so
brother,
give me an example. Can you give us an example? Give us an example of color of law.
Authority. Then it's the color of authority too. The color of law. Look up that definition. And the color of authority.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. You use that to
me,
or
y'all please finish and then use it. Give us a working example of it, like a simplified example of what this color of law is.
Exactly. He said the color of law is something that's something that seems to be the law, but not actually the law, but otherwise it would be against the law.
Okay.
So can you simplify that? Can you simplify that? Give us an example or put it in layman's terms for us. For those who still not getting what color of law, how can something seem to be the law, but it ain't? What you mean? When they see the police, they just automatically thinking law and everything that the police is enforcing is the law.
Exactly.
So what do you mean when they say seem to be the law, but it's not? It's color of law. Can you give us an example?
Color is like, the color in law is different. Color, it can't be a color of law. Law means land, air, and water. The first letter, because it's abbreviation of land, air, and water. Like government. Government is abbreviation of government. God is abbreviation of government ordinance department. These are all abbreviations of words, but they made them, people just think they actual words, but they really just means land, air, and water. So when you're saying color, you're saying color of land, air, and water. But so that's not actually the law, because the law is if you gotta your mama taught you the first law. She said, drink this milk, which is water. So first they eat, drink, and breathe. If you don't do all three of these, what happens?
Make it plain, bro.
You would die. So that's what the law is. So your mama taught us to eat the land, drink the water, and breathe. And then fire. Fire is the fourth element. There's three elements to elements: land, air, water, and fire, which is electricity. Those are the four elements. It's all of us have elements, and all of us are part of these zodiac charts.
Fire is electricity. Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, fire is electricity. We are electrical beings. Yeah. We are made from electric. That's light. Land, air, water, and electricity.
All right.
That's why sometimes you walk in and shock yourself.
All right, cool.
That's the law. Now, anything they say is law is not the law. It is statute, codes, and regulation, which is a proclamation, which is not law. It does not apply to.
That's what you should have. That's what you could have said in the beginning.
Which is a corporate law. But you are not a corporation. You are a real, natural, breathing, living being.
Yeah.
Made in the image and likeness of God.
So you got different type of laws, right? You got religious laws.
Right.
You got natural. You got laws of nature. You got laws of the universe.
Negative law. Positive law. Negative law.
Laws of the universe. Laws of the land. Laws of the sea. Law. Like what you're saying, positive. There's so much different type of laws. So you got color of law or colorable law.
Colorable.
And what does that mean? And what does that mean again? Color.
It's a law that they done made up.
Right. It basically means it simply means it's
a made up law that seems like law, but is actually against the law.
Right. It simply means the appearance of law. So, for example, when they come into the courtroom, they be like, "All rise for the honorable judge," blah blah blah. They're making it appear as if they are the law and making you submit to their authority, which is not a real delegation of authority, even though they got above their head in God we trust. But their God is as we know, is actually Lucifer. But
when it says in God we trust, that means in government ordinance department we trust.
No. That means in your melanated self they trust to make a trust off of you when you come in that courtroom.
The G represents the government. The O represents the ordinances. The ordinances is the laws that we already established. And then the departments means anything that has men on it is mine. So it says so that's because we work for the government ordinance department. The people. That's our birthright. Mm-hmm. We own that shit. We work for them. We own actually them. But
all right.
It seem like they own us.
All right, got you.
They make it seem like they own us through the color of law.
All right, let's get back into this. Let's get back into this Constitution, brother. It's not like shit drift too much. I don't but we got you, bro. We got you.
Hold on. Hey, so hold on, bro. Sorry, and I was doing some reading, brother, but I see what you're doing. I'll ask you a question.
My bad.
We're not dealing with no interruption right now, man.
Because I see what you're doing, and I respect you, brother. I want to ask you, do you oppose me reading what he's showing up there, bro?
No, I respect you, Chuck, because you a real nigga. And Emperor Ali, Islam Moabite, Newbie, I don't know you, Organic, Lord Messiah, and God Energy, y'all some fake ass bitches. Now I'm playing with you, God Energy. You good with me? I'm fucking with you, guys. But Lord Messiah and Organic,
go get the fucking job. We go,
I'm
man.
Out of here.
Yeah,
do your thing, bro.
Thank you. Bye.
What the hell, bro?
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so let's continue. Losers have no life. So anyway, so where was we at? Section 3.
All right, before we go, man, I heard the brother saying, God, we trust in the government or this department we trust. What that word trust mean again?
It's the trust. That's the trust. That's the trust. That's the trust. Government Ordinance Department trust.
Okay. So, Section 3, expatriation.
When you say the trust, you mean like in form of money? That's why it's on the money. Right? The trust is the money.
The trust is assets, land, all the minerals, all the land. It's all in the trust of the Moorish Trust, which is the Government Ordinance Department trust. We all are the beneficiaries of Trump.
I got you. I appreciate that. I got you. I got you, brother.
Bro, what trust is that? Government department trust? What trust is that? Where is that trust at? What's the file number for that trust?
Government or department trust?
Yeah, what's the file number for that trust?
I said Google it.
Because I've heard of the vast estate trust, but I haven't heard of this governmental ordinance department trust you're talking about.
It's so many trusts.
Yeah. But you said this is like a national trust that all the Moors are under. Like, where?
What they want to do with it.
Bro, so you talking about the Cestui Que Vie Trust under the Crown of England?
That's the trust for your mind, body, and soul.
Bro, all right. Anyway, I ain't going into all of that. All right. So where was we at? Section 3. All right, bro. All right. I heard you. We good. Section 3. Expatriation shop. Where did you end off at, bro?
Hold on. No, we ain't make it there yet. We still up here at 1, I think, or 2. All right, we're at 2. All nationals and citizens of the United States of American Republic, upon taking the oath of allegiance to the United States of American Republic, shall be pardoned of all past crimes of colorable laws. The United States of several states shall not use such criminal records against a national or citizen of the United States of America Republic. No pardon shall be given for capital crimes, murder, rape, or treason.
Right.
Section 3. Expatriation shall be voluntary. No national or citizen of this state shall be forced to expatriate by the state. Expatriation, as well as repatriation, is an unalienable right of each national or citizen. Section 4. This amendment includes all Moorish Americans who have proclaimed their nationality before or after the adoption of this Constitution.
Right. So when you no
paperwork. Go ahead.
Right. I was just gonna say, when you adopt this Constitution, then all these rights apply to you. Then you are national under your government. But yeah, part of stuff, I just wanted to emphasize on that real fast.
All right. No paperwork needs
to be filed.
No paperwork needs to be filed. Hey, bro, you breaking up? I don't know if it's am I breaking up over there? Or you breaking up over here?
You have broke up a little bit. But you good now?
All right. So it says. All right. It says. The amendment. This amendment includes all Moorish Americans who have proclaimed their nationality before or after the adoption of this Constitution. No paperwork needs to be filed. Proclamation of nationality begins when nationality is stated, which can be verified by a phone call or writing by the nation concerned.
Right. So when they so when a U.S. policy officer happens to detain a U.S. a USAR national, then the first thing they have to do is contact our government. So they would have to do that first. So they said nationality can be writing of a letter concerned, a writing by the concerned, by those concerned. So therefore, that could be on behalf of you. You know what I'm saying? Or a phone call. Like, so that's why I say if they detain you, and they, who should they call on your behalf? So now you have a government that can be called on your behalf, where marshals can be sent to bring you back into USAR custody from out of their custody, unless you committed a capital crime such as murder, rape, or treason. Then they have the right to persecute you or prosecute you under their jurisdiction. You know what I mean? Because that's a crime. That's a crime regardless.
You can't damage somebody else's. You can't rape nobody. You can't be killing other people's property.
Now let me ask y'all a question. You see how I noticed like when I came around, the panel was like full, 2-3 people dropped off. Now where we are, it's like it's only just us and the God energy. He ain't said nothing. He ain't said nothing yet. It's just us. Organic ain't even saying nothing.
They doing the knowledge.
You got some listeners down there.
They doing the knowledge.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think we should be here doing this?
Why not?
Because of how you see everybody just dropped off, and now it's just us here doing this.
Well,
do you think that
it's like a whole other language to them?
Exactly, and it's a lot of people listening, and it's a lot of people listening. So let them listen. There's a lot of people in the building, so they learning.
Yeah, it's 200.
If they ain't want to hear this shit, they would easily switch to another channel and keep it moving. So let's continue to build. We're educating right now.
Go back to La La Land. They can go back to La La Land too.
So come on, let's continue to build. This is our article. What's this? Article 15. Public ministers. I'll take this one. Public ministers, ambassadors, and other public ministers and councils shall hold office of trust or profit under the United States of America Republic, and are delegated with the powers of the USAR, and are vested with the powers to, Section 1, exercise the principal diplomatic functions to conduct foreign relations with foreign nations, showing the capacity to enter into relations with other states, to establish and enforce treaty agreements, as well as pursuit of justice in domestic and international affairs, and shall have the power to enforce the law of nations. Right. The right of indigenous peoples, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Convention on Civil Rights, Civil and Political Rights, Vienna Declaration and Program of Action, Convention of Rights of the Child, Convention on the Rights of the Child, Declaration of Elimination of all forms of intolerance and discrimination based on religion or belief, and the Geneva Convention. So all of those, you know what I'm saying, we enforce as well, and we adopt those these declarations and forms of law. Section 2, shall have power to make agreement. Oh, and you know, I was speaking with the president the other night, our president, C. Cannon Bay, and he was re-enlightening me to the fact that Obama has signed the declaration, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and that declaration.
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, man.
Part of self. I said Obama had signed the United Nations Declaration on the Rights to Indigenous People, and that right there would give indigenous people, those who declare themselves as indigenous people, would give them the right to come back into the act of self-determination, into the right of self-determination, and start to govern themselves and so forth, and have the right to do so. But we, you know, continue to call ourselves Negro, colored, Black, African American, and all of these terms, which are misnomers. Thus, we can never declare ourselves as an indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? Or a proper nationality. Because Negro, colored, Black, African American, those are not nationalities. Those are social terminologies that have no effect in the legal arena. This is why we need to stop using those terms as far as when it comes to the legal arena.
All right, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
This this term, nome, and it goes even back to Egypt. You had certain places that were considered. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it was kind of chopping up. All right, but yeah. So you had nomes in Egypt as well. You familiar with that?
No, not exactly. But I thought you was gonna say King Nomer.
No, not Narmer. Not Narmer. I'm saying the nomes, like these are like places. These are like cities. I guess I guess they weren't really considered to be cities. So I was just thinking, like, okay, to emphasize on this nome, how nome is a type of authority for real. Like, I'm just thinking, like, okay, in the sense of government, why is this name thing so important?
Well, as far
you see that?
I hear what you're saying. As far as identification purposes, you know what I'm saying? We've been misidentified, you know what I'm saying, misclassified. So, you know, it's our right and duty to bring ourselves to, you know, back to the proper classification. And a way of doing that is through repatriation, you know what I'm saying, back into the constitutional fold of a free national government, which is the United States of America Republic. So so
it just shows you the importance. It just shows you the importance of a name. Like, you gotta have a name,
right,
bigger than our own name.
Right. In the Declaration like, on the Convention on the Rights of the Child, I think it's Section 3. It says every child has the right to a name and a nationality. So, you know, that's why we have the right to rename our children and declare their nationality. We do this through USAR. After we finish this, after we go through this Constitution, I'm gonna show y'all the application for repatriation and citizenship right here. This is the application for repatriation and citizenship. You know what I mean? You're gonna fill this out. You're gonna put your first name, last name, your title, L or Bay. Then you're gonna put your name, how it's written on your birth certificate. You know, current name used, domicile, mailing location, your autograph and thumbprint, you know what I'm saying, down here in the box. Then you're going to put your vital data, race, Asiatic, nationality, Moorish American, you know, your social, routing number on the back, ID, info, and all of that. And that info is for when you get your IDs done and all of that through USAR, your passports or your driver's license. This info right here, sex, age, all that good stuff, that's for your driver's license and all that. Application for citizenship, you're going to put your past info, you know, school you went to, all that good stuff. Employment info if you choose to. Emergency contact. And then they have a section where you put your awards, certifications, fellowships, honors, licenses, recognitions, etc. Also, you're going to put a list of the skills that you have that you feel would be helpful in building your government. You got trade and business down here, if you have any trades or businesses, so forth. Background, legal information, if you have any like court cases that are open past 30 days, whatever case may be. You put that there. And then the second part, you're gonna have your application down here. The application, your application for your birth certificate, birth record / certificate. So you're basically gonna take your birth certificate and just transfer the information that's on your birth certificate onto here. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna do so when they send you your birth certificate through USAR. And when you have your birth certificate through USAR, that's declaring the fact that USAR now is has a power of attorney over you to say, you know what I'm saying? So if you have any legal implications, they would have to contact your government, and then they would deal with the matter. Like I say, unless it's a capital crime that you committed, then other than that, they have to release you to the custody of your government, and they would have to deal with the matter. So all right, so where we at? I'm gonna bring it to province recorder. All right, no matter of fact, no, I didn't finish on public ministers. All right, section 2. So, shall have the power to make agreements and enforce agreements and other constructive agreements made with states or with successors according to the original spirit and intent, shall have the power of handling negotiations and extradition of political prisoners and hostage release, right? The power to assert their sovereign prerogative in any court of law, right? So in other words, when we go in there, if we happen to go in their courts, we're not there under their laws. So best thing you do is bring your constitution with you and let them know that in your response to their allegation or whatever case may be, or in a petition for your claim, you give these certain amendments from your constitution that pertain to whatever it is you're petitioning for. To let them know that you're standing on your constitution. And according to Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, it says that the treaties and therefore the constitutions shall be the supreme law of the land. So they have to honor the constitutions. They have to honor the treaties. So you have the Treaty of Peace and Friendship and you have your national constitution. So they have to honor that. You know what I mean? So now you have something to stand on. Instead of you just going in there as an individual, your family don't even show up to court for you. You know what I'm saying? You be in there by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what about when you do, when those families does come in there?
I mean, that's good because it shows that, you know, you have people that could also take you into their custody. If anything, if you were released on your own recognizance, you have a family member somewhere you can go to be released to. Yeah, I have family. They right here waiting for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that you know, for that type of aspect, you know, that's good. But, you know, most times our family don't even show up. We be in there by ourselves versus them as a collective nation, versus them as a collective government, versus them as a collective, you know, political body and shit. You know what I mean?
So, let me go.
So this is what I'm saying, like, this is what I'm saying, bro. Back to the gnomes thing a little bit, right? Golly, I mean, as I'm thinking about it, it's like the answer came to me, man. Right there where it said, ain't forcing nobody. You know what I'm saying? We ain't forcing nobody to get down, man. Okay, but my thing, because I'm looking at it like, why is it that we just... It's like, damn, okay, these people going by black, colored, or whatever. But they choose that shit? they just chose it?
Well, you know,
chosen. Like, okay, it's like, why can't we just, listen, it's like, why can't we just pardon them and just know that they're already under the fold and just go ahead and bring them under the fold? But like I said, it's like, we can't force them. They gotta be like willing to come on over on their own, like.
Yeah, right.
But it don't really, but it did say it don't really require no paperwork either. You just gotta make the proclamation.
Right.
I declare.
Right. Now, you know, our president said that would be more so for a future. I mean, he could do it by his power now, but that would be also for a future time when we grow in numbers. Then he ain't gonna have to have no paperwork. He can just say, "Yo, he's a Moorish American. He down with us." You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know. But that's that's when we grow in numbers. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but even though too, once you send in your repatriation papers and your birth certificate info, you could be accounted for. You know what I'm saying? As long as they have record of that information, then you can be accounted for. So you know. That's why I tell brothers, you know, get your repatriation papers in. You know what I mean? So,
I'm back home.
Yeah. Section.
But you know what? And hey, hold on. Before you go, you know, that right there also kind of, the answer you just gave, it kind of answer what I was trying to say earlier about the gnomes and how. In Egypt, they had these, what I guess you call them city-states or gnomes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why were they called gnomes? And so it go back to this last question that I asked you the previous question that I asked was like, you know, about just pulling everybody in anyway. So you said when you get big enough, you know, then you could do that. So I hear you. So it's like basically when we establish gnomes, then
niggas up.
Well,
it's like when the gnomes get established, then it's like
right. So the term gnomes you're using would be more so as we would say provinces. These would be because we don't say states, we use the term province. Our jurisdiction is a province. For the US, their province is the states. You know what I'm saying? The state of Illinois, the state of New York, the state of so. We would be the province of Illinois, the province of New York, the province of New Jersey, so forth. You know what I mean? So the jurisdiction is within the province. So section 3, it says ambassadors, others, public ministers, and councils are vested with the powers, privileges, and immunities of the state and shall have the power to repatriate or expatriate Negroes, blacks, blacks, African Americans, and other indigenous aboriginal people back to or from the jurisdiction of the United States of America Republic. Section 4. Public ministers shall enforce the laws of the United States of America Republic and shall enforce them with no malicious intent. Public ministers shall always seek truth over conviction, and no public minister shall use his or her office or for personal vendetta or for his or her personal gain. Public ministers have one rule to live by: justice. Section 5. Public ministers serve a lifetime appointment and shall hold their offices during good behavior. Public ministers shall have power to arrest, enforce, and ensue indictments for violations of above sections. So
man, that was kind of hard to do, like staying focused on all of what you're saying while he's saying all of what he was saying. I guess that was the time for me to sharpen my listening skills, but man,
I heard him. Yeah, he was interrupting.
Yeah. Basically, it was talking about the power that public ministers have. They have the power to repatriate people, to bring them back to the constitutional fold, not to use their powers for personal vendettas, to conduct themselves by the rules of justice. They have a lifetime appointment, you know, under good behavior, and the power to arrest, enforce, and ensue indictments for violations of above sections. All right, so so we have province recorders. Province recorder. Section Amendment 16, province recorder. All right, each state within the United States. Matter of fact, you want to take it from there? You want to read that one there?
No, go ahead. I was just saying you were just talking about province. I'm glad you're going into that because you were just talking about the provinces.
All right.
Go ahead, brother.
Province recorder. Each state within the United States of America Republic, provinces shall keep and guarantee a province recorder. The province recorder shall maintain records at all times for public records and or the National Archives for the USAR. So, okay. Amendment 17, Divine Founders. Section 1. We as a clean and pure nation descend from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, nor serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religions, creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Section 2. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we Moorish Americans are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. Section 3. The covenant of the great Creator. Honor thy father and honor thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth and land, which the Creator hath given thee. Amendment.
Stop right there.
All right.
No. All right. So, by what you just read about the returning of the Christianity and the church and taking on Islam. Right. So, is there something wrong with, so quite often I proclaim being a Muslim, a Christian, and a Jew. Is there something wrong with that?
Going back to Amendment 1 in the Constitution, it states about religion, freedom of religion. So that's why I like to emphasize with people too. You know, you don't necessarily have to be a Moorish American Muslim per se, but however, it is the divine creed and the religion of Moorish Americans, which is Islam. You know what I'm saying? Because that is that which was brought forth by the forefathers. So those who come into that understanding, they will, adapt to that. But however, I don't want people to miss out on all the other aspects of what Utah has to offer them based upon their religious persuasion or even customary things. Like a lot of people may think like, well, if I get down with Utah, do I have to, wear a fez and, or whatever case may be and stuff like that. So they may not, and they'll think it's because of certain customs that they'll shy away. But I'm telling people that it is a custom of the Moorish Americans that they do wear a fez, you know what I'm saying? But it's not an obligation. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're going to say, well, you have to wear a fez every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an obligation, but it is a national and a cultural custom. You know what I mean? That the men wear fezzes, the women wear turbans, you know what I'm saying? So forth. That is a national custom. You know what I mean? So, but I also like to emphasize the fact that there is a freedom. They do have freedom of religion. So, you don't necessarily have to convert your religious persuasion if you hold that near and dear. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's how I'll explain that.
That was good. That was appreciated, buddy. That was good.
So this is my favorite amendment right here. Amendment 18, state sovereignty. It says section 1, it says no state government citizen shall sit in judgment over another sovereign state government citizen. So that right there is telling you right there that they can't sit in their courts can't sit in judgment over you. Like a judge of their courts, whatever, can't sit in judgment over you because you're of a sovereign state. You're of a sovereign state and you're a government citizen. You know what I'm saying? A sovereign state government citizen. So they can't and let me break that down too. Sovereign state government citizen. That's not saying you're a sovereign citizen. That's saying that you're of a sovereign state government and you're a citizen of that government, which is a sovereign state. So the government itself is the sovereign state, and you are a citizen of that government. You know what I'm saying? But so it's not to say you are a sovereign citizen, because that is in the term, but peep how it's defined. You know what I'm saying? Sovereign state government citizen. So, you know what I mean?
Yes, because quite often, that's good to make clear, because quite often you hear people making these little arguments about, using that word sovereign citizen.
Right.
And
so section 2. The United States and the several states shall not enforce its statutes ordinances, codes, regulations, or customs against a Moorish national or citizen of the United States of America Republic. You heard? So that means that basically they can't use all of their ordinances, policies, statutes and all of that. They can't use that against you. Like I said, unless you committed a capital crime, that stuff don't apply to you anymore. And that's not to say I'm not promoting people to walk around and think that they're lawless or that they could do this and do that because, I can get away. I don't have to, No, that's not what I'm promoting at all. I'm just saying that, like they were saying before, how they can't hold your past crimes, your past crimes against you and stuff like that. Like basically not being under their jurisdiction means like they can't judge you. They can't sit in judgment over you. So this is your freedom. You know what I'm saying? This is your freedom. And with that freedom, you would become more responsible. Because I even noticed, like, even when they legalize weed, right? When they legalize marijuana, for most black people in the hood, that was basically our freedom. Because really, when we walking around in the hood, we just really worried about making it from the deli to the weed spot back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas know, and hope the cops don't pull us over and find the weed on us. You know what I'm saying? So like once it was all good for us to have weed on us, nigga, we free as a bird now. Nigga, we ain't worried about no police, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. We rolling, smoking the blunt in front of the police, nigga. Like, nigga, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, once again, I'm not promoting, how do you say, obnoxious behavior or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, it's a sense of freedom to us because that was the only thing that we was ever really worried about anyway, unless you selling drugs or something. And that ain't my thing. So I wasn't never worried about that anyway. So, that was a form of freedom to us as to where they couldn't really use that about. Cause they always trying to pull us over too. Like, oh, where's the weed? Where's the weed? Searching you and shit. Like, oh, where's the weed? Like you just gotta have some weed on you. Like, nah, nigga, I ain't got no damn weed on me. But they try to use that as an excuse to, harass you and all of that. So now since they can't do that, they ain't really got nothing to fuck with you about. So it's like now that was a form of freedom, But anyway, so basically they can't use their statutes and all that against you. Section 3, the state may prosecute citizens of another state only in the case of capital crimes, such as murder, rape, treason, and other things that would be considered a capital crime. The prosecuting state must prosecute in the state of the citizen accused of a capital crime before a jury of their peers. And that ain't gonna be your real peers, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You're gonna have a whole jury of white people to lock your ass up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Section 4, the United States of America Republic shall retain the right to waive prosecution and to give the state of the citizen accused of the capital crime the opportunity to prosecute the accused. So in other words, USAR is going to waive the right to of prosecution and give them the right to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, you deal with them. You know what I'm saying? He committed a capital crime in your state. Hey, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. So basically, don't be committing no capital crimes. You know what I'm saying? Word up. So, Amendment 19, perpetual government. Section 1, the United States of America Republic shall be perpetual, and it shall remain forever a state for the Moorish American people by the Moorish American people. It shall forever stand for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, with the sole purpose to uplift fallen humanity wherever it has fallen. Section 2, the United States of America Republic shall always stand for freedom, being a people of peace. The United States of America Republic's first priority shall always be to be a peaceful solution to reconcile differences and find common grounds with our neighbors and those who sojourn with us. The United States of America Republic shall make the laws which shall be necessary and power and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers, and the powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the USAR or the Department of Office thereof. Okay, and then it goes into the Circle 7 Quran. They got some Bible verses here, Ephesians chapter 2, 11 through 16. And then they got the, the jurat down at the bottom where you sign. And then the other sign is going to be signed by a governor in the government. And then, once that's sent back to you and everything like that, then, you have your official it's signed and sealed Constitution. And then, like I say, in the beginning, you're going to fill out your application for repatriation and citizenship, and your birth certificate application. Those are going to be the two major documents that you do to basically repatriate, into your government. So yeah, basically, that's kind of
so listen. So this word repatriate. So when people say repatriate back to Africa, a lot of people, would encourage to repatriate back to Africa. You have this back to Africa movement. Would this technically be repatriating back to Africa?
No, not necessarily. No. Because this is saying repatriating back into your government, and the government is right here on the land. The jurisdiction that we mainly claim is North, South, Central America, the adjoining islands, which is our native inhabitants.
Islands. Go ahead.
North, South, Central America, and the adjoining islands. So, for example, when you get your birth certificate through USAR, it's going to say on the top, it's going to say North, South, and North, Central, and South America on there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the jurisdiction that ties you back to the land, as opposed to it saying the state of so and so, certificate of live birth. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's not done through the state of so and so. It's tying you back to the land. You know what I mean? And that's why it's the national government, and the national government is higher than the state and the federal government. But the science is, like I said, we got to grow in numbers and get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the lieutenants told me, he was saying, Lieutenant Bay, he was saying how he had an encounter with one of the police officers after one of the marshals had got detained or whatever. He had to come get one of the nationals, and he said, yeah, we know, one of the so-called black officers, one of the melanated officers said to him, yeah, we know your government, we know y'all government, but y'all small right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, wow, I was like, yo, so that was a wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? To let them know that basically, we just got to build up. We got to get strong in numbers. So when people be telling me like, oh, so where's your military? Where's y'all this? Where's y'all that? Right here, talking. It's you. You know what I'm saying? Take your civics course, get educated, and take a seat in your government. You know what I'm saying? And help build up your nation. It's called nation building, not standing on the sidelines spectating. You know what I'm saying? But, and like I say, not everybody might want to come in and be a national per se, or as far as being taking a seat in government, but they could still be a citizen of USAR and still receive the benefits of their constitution, you know what I'm saying, and receive another benefit as far as paying their taxes to USAR, which would only be $25 a month, which is less than $1 a day. And you know what that does is that, like, even on your job, when you get on your job, you're gonna give that notice to the Human Resource Department that you're a USAR national, so forth. You pay your taxes to your government. So basically, what they're gonna have your job do is take only $25 out of your check. You know, you can, if you were a tribal member, you could fill out a W-8 bin form and be completely tax exempt from federal taxes. I don't know if it's state taxes too, but federal taxes for sure. But with this right here, it's stating that they can only take $25 for taxes out of your check. So that's going to be transferred to USAR. And then, like, think about this. If you make like over $500 a week on your job, they're taking at least $100 in taxes a week. So out of a month, that's like $400 a month they taking in taxes. You know what I'm saying? So just think about it. So compare $400 a month to $25 a month, which is like $7 a week.
But then it's like,
excuse me, not $25. 28 is $28 a month. Excuse me, I'm gonna say 28, which is $7 a week.
That's for right now. It's like so, but the more people that come in to give, it's like the more tax to take.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I wouldn't say that.
More tax to give, should I say?
I wouldn't say that.
Give the tax.
I wouldn't say that per se, because the more people we get, the more tax money coming in, and then the more equity it can build, you know what I'm saying, and so forth like that. So I wouldn't necessarily think that they would have to raise any taxes. Maybe taxes for foreigners who want to join and become citizens. Maybe they should be taxed. You know what I'm saying? Because Caucasians can become citizens of USAR, but they can never become nationals. You know what I'm saying? Only the indigenous people can become nationals of USAR. Or rather, I say, you know, the Moorish Americans can become nationals. So, yeah. So this right here, you see this here? This is the Social Civics, 5th edition. That's the book that we study to qualify ourselves in our civics course to become, to take a seat in government. So, yeah, so, you know, we could take a college course and come out and still probably can't get a job with that degree that we paid such and such $1,000 for. You know what I'm saying? You could take a course for free and take a seat in your government. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So these is like, you know, this is like the starting processes, you know, you getting on your way, filling out your applications and so forth. They give you the directions here on the website. And for those, you know, interested, I'm going to put in the chat here. United States of America, Republic. Type that in. You're going to see the website pop up. Matter of fact, you type in...
My thing is this, though. Like, why wouldn't you respect... Hold on, judge him. Judge him by what, bro? Like,